Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to say that I'm going towards 200, my 200th video. I want to hit it before the end of this year on YouTube. So yeah, continue to support me, share and subscribe. If you're watching this on Instagram, links to my YouTube in the bio. What's going on, little dragons? How are you feeling today? If you're feeling good, please do let me know down in the comments below. Drop a like on this video, guys. Share this video with all your friends and family, and punch that subscribe button, as it will help me out so very much. Now, guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking about my life. This isn't actually a thought that I had. This is actually somebody actually hit me up in the on Instagram, and they gave me this idea so I can talk about my life a bit more. I already did pretty much. I made my Royal Mail video, a video about me, how it is for me to work at Royal Mail. And for that video, since that video got thousands of views right now, and that video is actually doing quite well, I think a lot of people might be interested in how I grew up and how my life is. Quick disclaimer, I'm not gonna talk like I've broken past like the hardest things in life and I'm at the top or anything like that, because that's not true. I did not go through anything. There's people that went through much worse than what I've been through. Actually, I don't think physically I've had a perfect life. You know, like, I didn't have to work from the age of 8 to feed my family or something like that. I've always had somebody look after me. I've always had my mum. I've always had my dad. So that's a quick disclaimer. And also, I've not achieved anything really. I'm not a huge achiever or anything like that. I'm just a normal kid. I just grew up in a normal society like most of you watching this right now, and just passions and certain things that make me happy and things that I've grown. Really, I should this sort of video I should be making when I have like thousands and millions of subscribers and stuff, when I hit big. But I thought, if I'm gonna do it anyway, I might as well do it now. 22, so right now, my life until this one point, how it has been for me, how it is, where things have gone, because there actually has been things that just happened to me recently that's really affecting me so far. I'm not actually gonna say what it is or anything, but that sort of thing. Once I get myself, so I'm waiting to let it out now. So the thoughts I have now, I think it will be more relevant for me to make a video about my entire life now than it would be in the future. That's just what I believe in. So guys, let's go. So first of all, what am I? So I'm basically Sri Lankan. I've got a bit of I think Gujarati in me, but I'm Sri Lankan. And Hinduism is what I've been brought up with, but also there has been Christianity in my family because my mum's dad is Christian. So I do worship, I do go to church sometimes. When on the day my grandfather's death day, my mum has told me, if you get the chance, go into a church and, you know, light up the candles and then come back. And yeah, I really like to go to the church. It gives you that peace of mind, you see. I don't go on Sundays, I don't go with people, but I would like to go by myself. That moment to yourself would really be any holy place where you, even though I'm not religious, I'm an atheist, but if I was to go to a place, I do feel that I have that time to think. I have that time. It's like meditating for me. So I was born in France, and I came to England at a very young age. I came to England at the age of 3, so I don't speak a word of French before any of you ask me. I can just about say, I think, je ne parle pas le français. I think that's what everyone says now. It means I don't speak French, so I could say that to get around. I never went back to France. I've always wanted to. That's where my dad is now, but I've always wanted to go back to France. Never. Not yet. I'll go in the future, but right now I've got other things to worry about. But yeah, so I was born in France. I came to England at the age of 3. I was brought up here. I went to school. I went to nursery here. Growing up, I was very active. I don't stay in one place. I'm always playful. I'm always happy. I'm always like Everything just excites me. I've never been worried about anything. It's the mindset that I have even today. I really want to keep that mindset. I don't think anything should affect that, because that's so important. Living in that moment is so important. I've never really been shy when I was younger. I've never really been anything like that. I've always been that active, talks to people, but I never had any friends. That's where we're going to talk about next. So let me talk about my social life first of all. I've always wanted to I've always wanted to have friends and always be with people, but unfortunately, since we always keep moving, so I went to 3 primary schools and I went to 3 secondary schools. So I think nursery up until year 1, nursery, reception, year 1, I was in a school. Then from year 1 to, in year 1 I went to another school for the rest of year 1, because I was applying to another school at that time, but they didn't have any placements, so they put me in another school for the time being for about 6 to 7 months. After that, I went to the last school that I was in, and I was there all the way until year 6. And then secondary school, year 7 and 8, I was in one school in London. Then I moved to Coventry, and then I went to Counton Court. And then from Counton Court, in 6th form, I moved to PK. So that's 3 primary schools and 3 secondary schools. So from that, I was never able to keep my friends. All the time, any friend I make, after a while, it just goes away. I don't have that anymore. So in primary school, I think I am not in contact with a single person from school. But I've been to 6 schools, and I'm not, to this day, I am not in contact with a single person in school. I've went to college for 2 days and I'm in contact with everybody in my class. So that's how much I've improved in my social life. But I still remember very, very clearly, this is actually a thing that I grew up with my cousin from, he's the same age as me, I grew up with him. And if he's watching this right now, he might remember this when we were younger. There was this thing when we were in nursery, we used to all sit around class. Our teacher makes us sit all around. I don't remember any of that, but I remember like we also used to sit around class. And then we have to say, and then we go around each person, you have to say 2 people within that class, who you like and why. So if you pointed at me, you'll be like, oh, okay, I like James because he's very funny, he's very outgoing. I like Jessica because she's very kind. That sort of. So I would go around, and even then I used to sit there and I used to remember to myself, I used to keep thinking, I used to be hoping that somebody would say my name. And I would be the one person in the whole class, you won't believe it, I would be the one person that absolutely nobody in that class has said my name. And then we play that as well, and we play another one where we say a single person's name. So I would say I like Tom because he's very playful, he's very friendly, and then the next person has to say why they like Tom, and then that goes around the whole class. Only at that time when my name gets picked, that's the only time that people will talk about and people will be happy. And at that time when we go around in the circle and it gets to my name, I talk when it gets to my name and I have to say 2 people and why I like them and why. I always try to pick 2 people that I don't even talk to, just so that they get that little feeling like, okay, so we don't even talk to him, but Rishi actually likes us. Rishi actually likes me, so that's nice. And I thought that would be like a way for them to become my friend. Unfortunately, nothing happened. So nursery to year 1, I was young, so you can't really hold me accountable for that. Next school, from year 1 to year 6, what to say? It was really dodgy, actually. I think I was really like, loads of people I don't know what to think. Like, sometimes they'll be nice to you, sometimes they'll be horrible to you. The biggest fear for me in every school was to go into school after I get a haircut. Like, thinking about how everyone's gonna laugh at me. That's like the worst fear ever. I would even cry at home to my mom saying I don't want to go to school because people are gonna laugh at me, because they would used to force me to get short haircuts, and I love my hair. I actually love my long hair, my lovely curly hair. This is a unique piece. Nobody at Sri Lankan has this. Even my mum doesn't have it. No, it's not even in my family. It's rare. It's a blessing. I believe it's a blessing. Everyone's trying to curl their hair now. This is a blessing for me. So to go into school, to get judged by all the kids there. What I love the most, I love sports the most when I was younger. In lessons, I was really good at maths. I was really good at science. Sciences and maths, I was really smart at. But growing up, I think sports as well, I love to run. They used to call me the Flash in school because I was the fastest runner. I used to beat them all. We used to play, when we have a sports day in school, where we do the races, I'm always the winner. I'm always number one. That's always my pride. And sports-wise, when I was younger, I did basketball. My mum made me do basketball, made me do swimming. She got me into karate, which I'll get into that in a minute. Like basic little dances, like at that time that we did. Took me to dance class, and I learned the keyboard as well. Keyboard, I've lost my touch now. I don't do anymore. Swimming, like 2 years ago I tested it and I still have it in me. Basketball, I haven't played it in a long time. And dance and martial arts I do now. So primary school in primary school I used to get into a lot of fights. Oh my god, I'll make that for a separate video, to be fair. Like, all the fights that we used to have in primary school. I think that at the time, today I'm thinking that is probably the reason I did not get physically bullied in primary school, or verbally, or any form of bullying from other kids in primary school. It's because I've always had that. I've always fought. I've always had. They always know me as the guy that fights. Okay, if we pick on this kid, he's gonna fight. Even though he might not win, even if we can outnumber him, he's gonna fight. So it's not worth it. I wasn't able to carry that forward. I wasn't able to carry that on through secondary school, through sixth form. And I'm not gonna hold you. I'll tell you the reason for that. The reason for that is, at a younger age, I don't know what it was. I don't know why, I don't know what it was, but my family, they put me on special needs, which I don't understand why, but they put me on special needs. They're like, he's not stable, he doesn't stay in one place, he's always around, he's got a mental issue, he's got something wrong with him. So they always have a teacher that comes into my class, always sits with me in a TA all the time. So throughout primary school, that took me, and that mentally affected me. At home, they kept telling me that. They kept feeding that into me. Like, you've got this issue, you've got this issue. If you don't clean it up, it's gonna affect you in the future. So that's why as soon as I got into secondary school, just because I didn't want to put my name back into that special needs, they were like, he's gotten out of it. They still brought me the teacher and all that, but for me to get out of that, for them to declare that I am not a special needs student, I am perfectly normal, I am capable of studying myself. For a whole 2 years, I had to not fight back. I had to not get into any trouble. And the amount of kids that took advantage of that, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I got into 2 fights in year 8, and that was the last 2 fights, and that was because I got forced into that fight. They attacked me. He jumped on me, and they didn't give me a choice at that time. So I had to fight back, and then I got a warning for that. But the reason I never fought anybody, the reason I didn't want to fight is because I don't want to put my name into that book again. I didn't want to be known as a special needs child ever again in my life. I think I've already felt enough. I think I've already experienced enough through that. I didn't want that to happen ever again, and the amount of people that have taken advantage of that, it's insane. It's insane. So I've never really been a person that reacts to what people say. I've always gone by that, what is it, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. No matter what anybody says at that age or even today, I don't mind. They all had the privilege. I give them the privilege to say whatever they want about me. You can say whatever you want about me, one about my skin color, one about my face, if I look ugly, what about whatever you want, or about my hair, whatever you want to say. I would always let them say whatever they want. As long as they don't put their hands on me, I am fine. But it's sad to think about how friends who you trust could turn against you. It's not about what they say, it's about who's saying it. It's the people that you've trusted, the people that I am friends with, that I look at as brothers or sisters. That's the kind of, when I bond with people, I treat them like how I would treat if I had a brother or a sister like that. Because I do have a brother, but my relationship with my brother is not very good, right? I don't want to go into it, but I'm not, how do I explain? It could be better. It could be better. And that's why whenever I get to know people, I always connect them. I always like, okay, this guy is like a brother to me. This girl is like a sister to me. Because I've always wanted to have a sibling. I've always wanted to have that friends like that close to me. Somebody that I can go and share my thoughts with. And as a conclusion, in my whole life, if there is one person that I could ever share anything with, that I've realized that everybody in this world, if they're not going to be right, if they're not going to be good friends with me, they're not going to be right to me, they're not going to treat me well, they're going to talk behind my back, they're always going to be jealous of me, they're not, no matter what I achieve, they're not going to be happy for me, they always turn against me, that sort of people. I thought the best thing for me to do is to make someone who has to be nice to me, who is always nice to me, my friend. And that's how I made my dad my best friend. So my number one best friend in life is my dad. I could share anything I want with him. I can share that he knows what I like, he knows what I am like. I am so honest with him. He watches my videos. He is the greatest person in my life, but unfortunately, through situations, my mum and dad had divorced when I was younger. Through situations, up until that point, I didn't look at the way life was. I've always been in my father's shadow. I've always let my dad handle the situations in school, in all sorts of places. I've always let my dad be in charge of my life. So I was like, I've always got good guidance. But when that's gone and a whole overwhelming fear came into me, how am I going to go through life by myself? Is it going to be easy for me? Is it going to be like this? Even at home, how am I going to be able to? It's hard to explain. Like, I felt so alone. Like, it's insane. Like how loneliness made me. The fear of not having someone listen to me, not being able to have a conversation with anyone, not even need to know how to speak. All of that fear and all of that stress and depression sort of things. A cure for that is my YouTube channel. That people do not understand why I do YouTube. This is another reason why I do YouTube. Is to have people, because I know that people are watching this. So I know that my words are not just going to waste. It's not just staying with me. I'm putting my words out there. People are actually listening to me right now. It's because I do feel really, I do feel that. I'm not gonna lie, I am human. Somebody actually told me recently that the reason, I'm like, they were telling me, that other people are picking on them. I'm like, bro, but you were doing that to me. Oh yeah, you're strong enough to take that yourself. But I'm not. I am only human. I do have feelings and emotions. People are just because I don't react, just because I don't say it, but it does go in. It does make me feel bad. It doesn't. The words itself doesn't make me feel bad. Like if you talk about my skin color, that's fine. I don't mind. You can. It's not that. It's the fact that somebody feels this way about me. Somebody that I can talk to, I can potentially get along with, whether it's in school, whether it's at work, whether it's anywhere. A person that I can potentially get along with in life is behaving like this to me. So yeah, guys, anybody that thinks about me, as in thinks about what I want and what I want my future, that's who my friends are. Even today, that's what I'm saying. There are fewer people right this day, and they're probably my only friends. They worry about my future, they worry about me. They point me in the right directions, they help me as much as possible. They are my best friends. And I will never give up on them. I will never stop doing what I'm doing. Whenever I feel like I need to stop, whenever I feel like I'm getting weaker, that is going to motivate me. That's going to bring in that energy, and I'm like, no, I can go for it. I'll do it till I die. So yeah. So that's it for this video. It's actually a long video that I'm making. So this one's about friends and my social life. I think the next one I'm making is going to be about how martial arts and how that's important in my life, what I've done with martial arts, how I got to this level, what I want to do with martial arts. You might be interested in that. So guys, I hope you're safe. I hope this video, I hope you liked this video, guys. If you did, drop a like, share it, subscribe, comment down below. Hope you're all safe. Be safe, take care of yourselves. Wear a mask where you need to. Make sure to keep that distance. If you have any old people in your family, if you have any, I think it attacks old people more. Be careful. Keep them in mind whenever you go out towards your friends. Whenever you go out and you're like, I don't care about Corona, keep them in mind. Keep your family in mind. Yeah. I'll see you in the next video.